This tutorial is going to be on how to find and install fonts that you can use in After Effects and other programs on your computer. And the first thing I want you to be aware of is that fonts are a creative product. People design them and make them, and they therefore own them. And you want to be sure that if you are downloading a font from the internet, you have the right to use it for the project that you're creating. So for instance, I'm in dafont.com, which has a lot of free fonts, but you want to make sure you know how they're allowed to be used. So Diamond is allowed to be used for personal use. So for a student project, that would be fine. If you're doing a wedding video, though, where you're being paid, technically you should not be using this font. Down here we have something called Beautify Script, and it's saying it's 100% free. So you want to know what you're allowed to use the font for when you're downloading one. Fontsquirrel.com has many free fonts, and they are free for commercial use. And so this is kind of a big deal if you do projects where you get paid. And when we try something from Font Squirrel, I'll be showing you how to make sure you're allowed to use the font that you've downloaded in the way that you want to. Okay, so up here under my Creative Cloud account, I wanted to show you that if you have Creative Cloud and you're paying that $20 or $30 or $40 a month, whatever it is, because I know students get a different price, under Assets, you can download and sync to your computer fonts from the typekit.com, which is Adobe's font place. And you're already paying for these, so why not, okay? And you can see your synced fonts already, but I'm going to show you that you can filter to find a font. You know that you want something that looks handwritten. You come here, you can go to the script filter and start to see fonts that would fall into that particular category. You can also filter by weight. You want something that looks a little heavier. And you'll see here that the program, the site that you're here, they've set up some program that's filtering for you. Now to me, this isn't particularly heavy. So what the filtering is doing is eliminating some obvious ones that don't fit your criteria, but you're still going to have to go through a lot of fonts usually to find something that you like. Up here I wanted to point out that you can filter by serif and sans serif. And if you're going to get into typography, you need to understand those two terms. A serif is the little decorative tabs that stick out from the lettering here. Okay, those are called serifs. And serif type will always have some kind of decorative edges sticking out as part of the style. Sans serif, without serif, means that they're very clean. They may have a tiny edge on a few of the letters, but by and large, sans serif print is very clean at the edges. So you want to understand that particular terminology. So I'm just going to go back here to script, and I'm going to pick Vatican because it's something that I know I don't have, and I want to show you how this works. So I'm going to go to my After Effects for a moment here, and I'm going to show you that in my characters, in my fonts, you'll see that we don't have anything that is Vatican. Okay, so now I'm going to go back out, and I'm going to say I want Vatican light here, and I'm going to sync it to my computer. It's already done. Creative Cloud tells me I have sunk the font Vatican Light. You'll notice that you have to go through and separately include if you want italics, if you want medium. So generally speaking, I think your account comes with a certain number of fonts you can sync to your account. And if you want to go beyond that, you either have to pay or you unsync previous ones. Okay, let's go back into After Effects, and I'm just going to close my character for a second here and then reopen it, because otherwise it's hard to get Vatican to appear, anything new you've added. And here is Vatican. So now that's a font that I can use in creating a project on After Effects, and I don't have to pay for it because I've already paid for it as part of my Creative Cloud account. Okay, now let's go to what we're more often going to use, which are websites that offer fonts and we want to download them and we have to install them ourselves. So we're going to start here at Font Squirrel. And as I said, Font Squirrel, they are free for commercial use. And I am going to scroll us down here. I want to point out that there are fonts that you can download that when you click on this, you are taken to somebody else's site. You're taken, it says off-site, you are taken to the site where the person who created this is putting the font out there. And you'll see that right away there are several that come up that you would have to pay for. And so somewhere in here is a font that is free. And the Nexa Rust Slab is free. But they are also a person or company that is selling fonts as well. So I wanted you to be aware of when you see off-site, you're going to go to some other company, and they will have to have had one that is free, that is linked here to Font Squirrel, but they also are often selling fonts as well. So I'm going to just click on here. If it doesn't have the off-site, this means it will immediately start to download from Font Squirrel. It's called Open Sans. I'm going to save that file. It downloads fairly quickly. I'm going to come to my, actually I usually go to my downloads window and there it will be. I want to open my zip file, and then I come in here and you'll see all of the different files that I would have to install to have all of the different looks of Open Sans. And with it comes this license. And if I open it up, it tells me what I'm legally allowed to do with this particular font. And you'll want to read this on any font that you download, just because they may have a restriction on whether you're allowed to redistribute the font. That's usually what they want to keep you from doing, is that if you're creating any software, you're not using their creations in that. But you want to know what a license is on a font and how to read it, okay? But I'm going to show you now that you've got all these files, and if you right click on one, you want to open it with your font book. And that immediately brings up a little screen that shows you what this font looks like in every letter, capital and smaller case, as well as numbers. So you kind of get a chance to go, yeah, that's what I want, or no, that's not what I want, before you install it. If you don't like it, drag it to your trash, get it off your computer, don't waste the space. But if you want to install it, then you click Install Font, and you saw it just go zipping through its little process, and it's called Open Sans. And let's go into After Effects, and I haven't refreshed yet, so it's probably not going to be there. Let's take a, it's not there. Okay, I'm going to, there's probably a faster way to do this, but to refresh, I just close the screen and then bring it back. And now I'm going to go up, 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 up. Okay, and there it is. That's the other font that we've downloaded and we've installed and we can now use. So that's the process when you download a font from the internet, is you have to install it into your font library or your font book, and then it shows up in your programs. That's really the best way I can explain it. If I open Photoshop here, you'll see after the lengthy startup that both Vatican and Open Sans are going to be part of the text I can use in um, in the Photoshop program. Okay, so I'm just going to wait for the start screen. I'm going to make really quickly a new um, document so we can get in here. And sorry this is taking so long. I'm going to go up here and go to text tool. Sorry, that just didn't work and I'm not going to start over. So here we go. We're going to just open that. If I go to my text tool and I want to look at all the ones I have, you'll see here is Open Sans, and I can scroll all the way down and you'll see that Vatican is on here as well. So that's essentially, if you are bringing something from the Creative Cloud, you will be able to use it on your various applications and software. And if you download it from the internet, you just need to know A, how you are allowed to use it, and B, how to install it on your computer's font book, and then you'll be able to use it. I hope this was helpful, and we will have another tutorial soon.